A.R. Shaw and Cass in the city. Wake up, everybody. Wake up call. Rolling out 8 a.m.
The sun is shining, nice and bright. The birds are chirping,
and I'm excited.
Time to get ready
for another day.
No one can stop us.
We gon' learn to play. Oh, every day we learn and play. We do our best, so we'll be great.
You do your best,
and I don't mind.
So let's get ready.
Cause it's about that time.
Good morning, you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, time to be great. Good morning, time to wake. Good morning,
dance and play.
Good morning,
start today.
All right.
Good morning to you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning to you.
All right. Rolling out 8 a.m.
Come on now.
All right. It's rolling out 8 a.m. It is rolling out 8 a.m.
Come on. Good morning to you.
There you go, Ty.
Good morning,
Okay.
morning. How do you do?
Hey.
Good morning. Have a good day.
Hey.
Good morning, everybody. Learn to play. Sun is shining. Nice, bright.
Right. Hey.
Birds are chirping. I'm ready to fly. Woohoo! Time to get ready for another day. No one can stop me. I'm on my way. Hey, good morning, everybody. Rolling out 8 a.m. It is a wake-up call. Ty Cooper, Romeo International, A.R. Shaw, and Cass in the City, a.k.a. Cass in the City, a.k.a. Cass in the City, a.k.a.
What's up, y'all?
It's Wednesday. We made it to Wednesday. Our prayers and wishes, our prayers, deep prayers go out to Beirut. I don't know what I saw yesterday, but man, I have never seen anything like that ever. And then the different videos that kept coming in from different angles, man, that's wild.
So for people who don't know, that's in Lebanon. And there was a really big explosion that happened there yesterday. Killed, I don't know, maybe 100 so people, injured a lot of different people. So we're definitely sending prayers to them. I don't really know much more, but I definitely saw videos. Someone was recording what happened, and the blowback actually, injured them. And they were, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of feet away. So Very scary, very unfortunate.
Yeah, it looked like maybe it was a chemical plant for it to blow like that. It was really, really bad. I saw that.
Really, really bad. You can say really, really bad 100 times. It's really, really bad. This corona is really, really bad. And everyone needs to be really, really good, because if you're not going to be really, really good, we're going to be doing this next year, same time, dealing with this pandemic. So the more everybody just gets infected, everybody you can get reinfected, just so that you understand, you can get corona twice. And what you don't hear about are all the little complications that happen after you have corona. So just in case, you want to check in and definitely think about before you hang out or get in what I call a corona trap, because they setting lots of corona traps. So if
man, you know what's crazy? I actually watched a documentary yesterday on the 1918, the Spanish flu, and what was happening there was like the same thing that we're going through now. You had like the national plan wasn't together. Everybody was on their own accord. People weren't wearing their masks. So if you guys know about history, the Spanish flu went on for 2 years. It went on for 2 straight years. So from 1918 to 1920 is how long it lasted. They had 4 separate waves. So I'm just like, yo, that's what I'm saying. Like we gotta at some point, folks just gotta like get out of their own way and just do what's right so we can get through this thing, because it can be stopped, or it can be, we can't lower the numbers, but everybody gotta be on the same page. Can't be different of opinions. You gotta put your mask on, you gotta stay socially distant, but you know, as long as I can say, as long as we continue to do our own thing, we're gonna stay in this thing, and we're gonna be in it for the long haul. So
Can't allow history to repeat itself.
Same page. Okay, you're not talking about USA. You talking about, who are you talking about? Same page. This country?
Yeah, this country, yeah.
That's the goal.
Yes.
Man, we can't even agree on the vote. What are you talking about?
I know.
Yeah, America's looking real bad right now, but you know, what can we do?
Shout out to our Facebook family out there that's watching us. Shirley Carter, we see you. Y'all drop us some comments, some likes. Please share our AM Wake Up Call family. We are here up trying to celebrate. Romeo, I miss your mask. So you're supposed to like make people remember by doing that and having this mask on, man. What happened to it?
Right. And actually, I am waiting on someone to bring me my new mask so I can display it to y'all. So I got you. I ain't forgot. I'm still on the mission.
Okay.
Everybody else ain't on the mission, but I'm still on the mission. And like Todd said, man, shout out to Larry Martin, Irish Baker, Shirley Carter, Regina Hart, Annie Whitley. Good morning to all of y'all. And shout out to Amir for having hope that we all gonna get on one day.
Everybody's gonna just start taking the vaccine, brother. At this point, everybody is gonna start taking the vaccine. They needed 30,000 to try it, and people are willing to try it just to get out of the house and get a shot and get a check. So
okay, one key thing you said: people are willing. Are you one of those willing people, Munson?
Oh no.
Not gonna be me.
His face didn't even change.
Hey,
all right.
I think there are lots of people that really want to test and be a part of that test pool. You know, and I'm proud of the community of testers. There are people who make a difference in pharmaceutical world by participating so we can advance it. So, you know, I'm definitely not in the age group that I need to be testing something. See.
Understood.
All right, it is 8:08. You're watching Rolling Out AM, the Wake Up Call, and it is time for Cass in the Cities. Cass report. What's happening, Cass?
Let's get into it. So Tiffany Haddish made a big announcement yesterday. She actually confirmed her relationship with Common. A lot of people have been speculating about this, and yesterday during an interview, she just came out, you know, and said it. She said they met on the set of The Kitchen, which was a movie she was doing last year. She said they were just cool, you know, they actually were playing kind of like a love interest in one another, but they were just cool. They ended up, you know, afterwards kind of FaceTiming throughout this quarantine. But she admitted that this was the first relationship she's had with a celebrity. And she also said this is hands down the best relationship she's ever been in. So she seems really happy. She kind of joked because she just recently shaved all her hair off. She said, I'm bald, he's bald. So that was kind of funny. But she seems really, really happy. So I'm happy for her. You know, everyone deserves love. Up next, we have Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, we have Tia Mowry. We're going to get to Megan Thee Stallion in a minute. Tia Mowry actually just announced that she is expanding her brand into home goods. She's, you know, just announced this new Etsy collection and collaboration that she's doing. You know, she previously had a cooking show, but now she's expanding her brand. She's creating this home goods collection. So it's exciting. We definitely want to support Tia Mowry in her endeavors. But in music, like I just mentioned, Megan Thee Stallion is about to drop some heat this Friday. just announced that she and Cardi B are collaborating on a song WAP that's set to release Friday. So we definitely gonna have to check that out, let y'all know how that's going. But Megan Thee Stallion she really doing it on the collab. So I'm excited to see what this is like. Obviously, she killed it, her and Beyonce with Savage Remix. So definitely looking forward to this and seeing, you know, how they collaborate.
I like the imagery too they have around the whole. It's like a 90s. They got the updos
and somebody actually compared it side by side. I don't know if you all saw Black is King, but in Brown Skin Girl, the video, Kelly Rowland and Beyonce both had that, like a style like that for their hair, and they were kind of side by side. So that was cute. I like the style as well. We have some birthdays today. Actor Jesse Williams, 38 years old today, and Vanessa Simmons is 36 years old today. So shout out to them. Shout out to everybody else out there celebrating, sending y'all love. Hoping y'all have a wonderful day.
Leo, stand up.
Leo season.
Happy birthday to everybody.
We got balloons, yeah. The cake is on the way. We got the music playing, cause it's your holiday. Woo! We invited family, and everybody came. I strike a pose for me like you in a picture frame. You got your finest clothes on, and $1 million smile. So we gon' celebrate you for a while. And don't forget we got the candles when you away. Don't forget we got the candles. Happy birthday, gonna celebrate you for a while. Candles, blowing you away. Wait. Candles. Happy birthday, happy girl. So
to have another year, put your hands up in the air. All right, happy birthday, everybody. I know that you got to work on that happy birthday slide so we can put at least the cake on that slide and have a consistent look on that slide, because it's a happy birthday to all the Leos celebrating right now. So shout out to Raj Rubin. Shout out to Margaret Renfro, who's watching. I'm doing a watch party on my Facebook page. I hope everybody else is, including Amir, having a watch party right now on your Facebook page so we can actually get our friends watching. But at any rate, I tell you, Romeo, what is going to happen to music with no fall concerts, no festivals? Amir, you haven't gone to Coachella. You're not going to have a music fest. We are going to have a ride conference, so that's exciting. I'll have a ride conference for sure. Question of the day.
While we get into the question of the day, you know what's interesting about that? And I'm glad you said watch party, because I have one coming up as well. But it's so interesting because now you have to figure out, Ty, the world got to figure out, how do I get 50, 60,000 people in one place and perform and still get my artist royalty rights? Well, I think social media from August to December is going to be like the biggest platform. Now, I'm not going to say that Versus figured it out, but I do think they are really about to just transform everything to virtual. Like, I really do feel like that. Me and Amir ain't getting on no planes no time soon. It's a wrap.
I know, right?
A lot of people flying. People are definitely flying. They
are flying.
Fly.
Yeah, they are.
Fly. I mean, I was talking to a physician. She said she's flying. I said, oh, okay.
Yeah, they're flying. No one is sitting next to them or behind them. They're taking the proper precautions. It sounds like these airlines are. So I don't know, but I'm good with virtual. I'm good sitting in the car, maybe watching, like old school back in the day in the movie screen, or just have them on stage. I don't know.
Driving.
Thinking about that.
But event-wise,
well, Atlanta is open. The clubs are open. People they doing hookah in the club. So, I don't know if it's a difference if you have somebody on the stage performing in a club. What's the difference? So, certain states there's not really that many restrictions. So some of the artists can go to different states and still perform still perform live. Unfortunately, that's still the reality that we're living in. They aren't taking the precautions that they should.
So the question of the day, what is the question of the day? Because this popped up on the timeline yesterday. Question of the
day, we're going to go back to, Tiffany Haddish and this announcement she made about her relationship. The question of the day is, should you announce your relationship on social media? So what do y'all think? We always see a lot of celebrities doing this. We see regular people doing this every day. Do y'all think this is a good idea? Why or why not?
I'd love to hear from Amir, Munson, or Romeo first. What do y'all think?
I has asked.
Right,
I don't have anything to announce. I'm sure that at the end of the day, there are individuals that want to announce. I mean, I'm hopeful for both of them that that's what they wanted to do. I think a lot of celebrities take the air and the gas out by added pressure and comments. But right now, everything is about a social media strategy. So I'm not certain that it's not a relationship of convenience. Let's give it some time. In terms of talking about their relationship, I think it's really crude. I think it's the ability for people to imagine you're really my friend when I'm not shouting you out. I really don't know you, and we're having comments. I think Facebook and at some point, social media is going to have to recognize how to police itself, because the trolls are just ugly. Like the trolls that have comments that make crude comments to people, it's bullying at a level that is way outside. But outside of that, I think people are going to have to figure it out, because it's really harmful to the kids, to the history, and people bring it right back up, and you were. So not sure I have anything to announce, but Ty, I'm sure you can help me out here.
Well,
yeah, go ahead, Ty.
Romeo. What?
I wasn't gonna get that in depth about their relationship. Let me tell you, Cass, one of my golden rules. My brother knows. First of all, don't tag me in nothing. Don't post me in nothing. Don't title me in nothing. Don't even hashtag me in nothing. If it's us, it's us. If it ain't, it ain't. But what we not finna do is turn this into a, hey, I saw Romeo here, or he saw she some there. Nope, not doing that, because you went with me.
But hold it, Romeo. What if it's official? What if y'all's relationship is official and you just want to let the world know? If you don't have multiple women, then it shouldn't be a problem. I'm sorry, I'm getting all passionate in my face, getting closer to the screen.
Don't hashtag me in nothing. Don't tag me in nothing. Nothing.
Amir, what is he talking about?
So I'm going. Okay, so I'm going. I'm going to
pay attention to the chat, because they definitely trying to tell you about all the relationships and the breakups. So
come on, y'all. What they saying? What they saying on Facebook? What is going on?
I want to hear what you say. Amir, go ahead, Amir.
Go ahead, Amir. Before we get into elaborate.
I'm going to go both ways: celebrity versus just an average person. So celebrity is basically it's a promotion, right? So you think about when Moneybagg Yo got with Meg, like that took his he's been making good music for a while, but it took his status up like a whole nother level. Like, oh, this dude got Megan Thee Stallion. You know what I'm saying? So from a celebrity standpoint, it's really just a promotional. It could be a marketing tool. Like, okay, you got 8 million followers, I got 9 million. We're gonna put this together. So now we got, now we got 16, 17 million followers together. Now we're a movement. So that's how celebrities do it. I think with Tiffany Haddish, the thing about Tiffany, she says everything that's happening in her life, regardless of if it's hanging with Beyonce, whatever she does, she's gonna tell you what she's dealing with. Like, she doesn't have any filter. And I think Common knows that. And I think Common knows that if you have a hot celebrity like Tiffany, it keeps his name out there as well. So I think it kind of plays both ways, where it's like, okay, this person is hot. If they say that they're with me, then I'm hot as well. You know what I'm saying? So That's how celebrities look at it. Now, for the average person who just want to post their boo or their lover online, it's just, I think the thing is that you got to watch out for two things, right? Because a lot of people don't like you to be happy. So then you're going to have a lot of people sliding in DMs. You got a lot of people that's coming at you sideways. So you got to understand that when you're doing that, when you make that move, you're going to get people coming at you in different ways. And so it's just, it's just all, if you want those eyes on you, be prepared for that pressure. That's all.
You see that, Ty? No, Ty asked you what you did.
Well, maybe he's speaking from experience.
Well, no, I mean, no, what I'm saying is this. All right. So for me, I don't really like put anybody out there.
That's
like
not your thing. Just like you're a private person. That's just
I have had people tag me in different things or whatever, and then you get all these questions about what is this? So you have to be willing to take all of that in, as far as like everybody asking you questions, everybody that's in your business. Do you want that type of attention? So if you want that attention, put your boo out there, but know that it comes with consequences. All right, Ty, I said what I
I'm happy we married. I'm happy to be married. We don't have to worry about all this.
I don't know. I think people announced their divorce. I think they talked about Pat and Emmett Smith. I think people just want to get it out there quickly, let people know. I don't think that there's a concept of what it is. I think that the people are saying this. I think clearly PR is part of it for some people. I think it's the same with having babies.
Cass, do you want to be announced? That's a good. Cass, would you like your man to announce you?
I mean, I think it's just like a decision we would make. It's not like I'm just gonna go on an interview and be like, we're in a relationship, and if we're trying to be private, that's just what it's gonna be. I think you don't have to announce everything, especially if you're a celebrity. If you're going out on dates, the paparazzi is gonna see you. You don't have to make a formal announcement. Like with Winnie Harlow and Kyle Kuzma, like they were hanging out, like pictures were getting taken of them. There are rumors, like people pretty much assume if you keep hanging out, like y'all are dating, I don't think you have to be like, we're dating,
I said, yes. See, Ty, you see how they dance around?
That was an answer. I said exactly what I said. I mean, I don't believe that you have to say, you have to announce your relationships. I don't.
Well, at the end of the day, I think it's all for attention, whether it's announcing getting together or breaking up, like Monson said. I mean, it's all for attention. That's just the way in which everything is kind of done these days, on social media. I got to tell you via IG Live or Facebook Live.
I got to go live to tell you what's going on. So Facebook checking in. Iris Baker says, if you are dating just that person, I don't see a problem with posting your relationship, no matter what people might think or say. Also, oh man, we got so many people that's popping in live. Don Colley, Sheila Williams, Thaddeus Williams, Kim Britton, Mary Ann Hill. Thank you to everybody who's checking into the morning show. To the wake up call. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to this, Ty. Don't tag me, don't at me, don't post me.
We got it.
But no, so Romeo, what happens when you get into like, because you still in the streets. We're gonna call it
entanglement.
Yeah. So what happens if you get into that situation? What would you do? Are you
gonna call her immediately? Take it down.
So funny? I've done that, Cass. I've literally like Ty. As soon as I saw the tag, I've literally called the person and been like, "Hey, this is not gonna work because of my status. I'm going to need
status."
But I will say this: the craziest thing I ever did, AR, was disappear. I blocked everything, and it's not that it's a. It's not that I'm not proud of the beautiful woman. It's not that she wasn't gorgeous or anything like that. It's just that it's the way I move.
You felt that was a commitment, like her posting that. You felt like it was just.
Oh yeah. That ain't popping on my end, Ty.
It's a way for people to mark their territory. If they feel like okay, this is I want to mark my territory right now, just so everybody else can know. This is.
But it's hard when it don't go both ways, I guess.
She was like, well, know where we stand today.
Right.
Hey, Ty, when it don't go both ways, then I'm gonna be August Alsina sitting on the couch with Cassidy. Tell me how you feel. Well,
So
I know,
telling us she was sitting on somebody's couch talking about,
right.
well,
You'd have moved
wasn't
on.
what
You
I
told her,
thought.
shoe fly don't bother me. And you just kept
So-
moving.
Changed his whole Instagram page.
All right,
Right.
let's get to Romeo's report because he's not gonna let nobody post for him. So, what do you say, Romeo? These are rules of engagement.
Rules of engagement. Rolling out social report, rolling out wake up call this morning, man. Our prayers. I don't know what's going on in Chi-Town, but this is probably like the third one I've heard in 2 days. Chicago rapper FBG Duckshot was killed in the city downtown area. He was shot in the head as he was just out. The story allegedly that he was leaving a gas station area on that side of town. I don't know what to say, man. I think people need to do more expressing. Like, I know there's a lot going on in the world, and I'm probably not gonna say this right, Cass, but there has to be a lot more ways to express. I'm at the point now. I would prefer people to just fight instead of shoot. Like, it's really not that serious to kill someone. Like, there has to be another alternative that we have to figure out as a people. Next up on the docket, and we can come back to that later, but next up on the docket, this right here, I don't understand. Let me tell you something. Dr. Dre's ex-wife, Nicole Young, is slamming him over the prenup claims. She said she was pressured, and when she signed, and it was tore up, but she's asking for a $1 billion split out of the whole thing. Let me tell you something. I don't remember you at practice. I don't remember you at the boardroom table. I damn sure don't remember you as I was working out in the gym. If you think for 2 seconds that that's gonna happen, that ain't happening, Captain. So I'm curious to know people's thoughts on this, because this blew me away. Like, the ask, I know we posted last week the story of Lyra Galore and how she won a settlement for $100K for a text. I know that Jeff, I think Cass talked about Jeff Bezos' wife in a settlement literally became a billionaire. In the settlement became an instant billionaire. Yeah, I don't know how that works in real life, but ladies, what y'all think?
I don't think it's just a ladies or conversation. Well, I mean, I think it's about if you have money, if you want to be able to secure your assets. Like, I mean, there's plenty of women who have money, and prenups come into play with that as well. I mean, I think it's just a choice whether or not how you want to deal with your relationship. I don't know. I'm not married and I'm not rich, so neither pertains to me.
It's crazy, but I have like mixed feelings, and I'm warm with myself over this because I'm thinking about myself, and I'm like, I'm very independent already, so I wouldn't even question if someone wanted a prenup. I mean, I wouldn't be bothered by it because I'm like, I'm gonna make my money regardless. But that's just the way, I guess, that I am and how I was brought up. So it's not an issue for me. I guess it's whatever a person brings to the table that is of value, right? So I don't think that it should be necessary. However, especially when you're getting married and you feel like you're gonna be with that person for the rest of your life. So, I mean, should it be proposed? That's up to that person. But if you got a lot of money like Dr. Dre,
right?
You just don't know. I don't think it would be an issue if maybe she went to high school with him and like they grew up together and there's like history, but he doesn't know, and he's probably skeptical. So I don't blame him either for asking for a prenup, because look what she asking for now.
And celebrities don't tend to stay, they don't always tend to stay together,
Right. So
for
that's why
50 something years, like for the rest of their life. A lot of times they break up. So,
right. So, yeah.
They are.
Well, no, I mean, I think what's happening is like certain states have different laws that they can kind of like determine like with California off top, if you don't have a prenup, then she's gonna automatically get half because that's just like the laws in California. So you got to really, a lot of times it depends on what state you're in. Him being in California, you definitely want a prenup if you have a lot of assets in California because you can lose a lot in that state. So yeah, I think it's a wise decision if you come into the marriage with a lot of assets. If you want to protect those assets, you might want to consider that. I don't think you love the person less if you ask for a prenup. I just think that's just the reality that we living in is that, sometimes things don't work out. So, you got to prepare for the worst. You gotta always, that's why we got insurance. So I think prenup is insurance for a failed relationship. So I'm with it.
Especially when a lot of money's on the line.
Especially. Last on the docket, I don't know if this is on the docket, but this is very interesting, and I need a lot of people to make sure they're aware of this interest. Now, Cass, this story is going to blow you away. So recently, at a lot of rallies, Ty, they have been people popping up with the signs "We are cute," and it is not alleged no more. It has been confirmed that We Are Q is a organization that is threatening politicians and the national security. So this is how they have stated it. QAnon is an organization that shadows politicians who traffic children or for occult or sexual purposes. So this organization actually is the organization that protects the politicians who are venturing out into this type of whatever they into. And they popped up as soon as, what's the lady who got arrested from, what's her name?
I know who you talking about.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Ghislaine Maxwell, I believe.
So, as soon as she got arrested and they knew that she was speaking, the organization has come out stating that they have all the information on certain politicians in different states. Now, at first, the funny part, when I was watching this on Vice, the funny part, at first, when it first came out, it was random. Now, they're popping up at every rally in groups saying we are Q and we have the truth that they're trying to hide. So please keep an eye out on this. I think this is going to be something like mind-blowing once it gets released, but they have been officially been labeled as a terrorist organization today, according to the Pentagon. Crazy.
So they'll show up to a politician's rally with the signs "We Are Q," trying to expose them about
trying to expose that politician because they have the dirt on that politician. They have so, and they literally go with their "We Are Q" signs because so that politician can see, as you saw how close he was to the stage. So that politician can see, oh, we know the secret. We have the proof of the secret. And so now they're actually labeled as a terrorist organization in the United States. Crazy.
Wow.
Interesting. I'm going to do some research on that. Definitely.
Gotcha. I'll make sure I forward that to you, man. But outside of that, man, that's the social report. That's what's going on in the world today. It's going to be a lot more going on tomorrow.
What's up, Anthony? What's up, everybody on Facebook? You watch Roll It Out. 8 a.m. The wake up call with Ty Cooper, Romeo International, and of course, the lovely cast in the city, A.R. Shaw.
AR, what you got?
All right, let's get to it. All right. So the thing is this: we're in a situation. We're in a situation right now where where a lot of things are being politicized with right-wing extremists and left-wing extremists. So they actually came out with the Center for Strategic and International Studies actually came out with a study that showed that over the past 25 years, right-wing extremists have killed 329 people. So when you talk about right-wing extremists, we're talking about neo-Nazis, talking about white supremacists, religious nationalism. A lot of people on the far right, they kind of tend to vote Republican, and they on that side of the scale. On the left side, left-wing extremists are known as Antifa. And recently, the president, Agent Orange, and his administration labeled Antifa a terroristic organization. But with the study has shown that Antifa, no one has died by the hands of a person, a member from Antifa, but 329 people have died from a right-wing extremist. And this is important because we've seen that over the past 4 years that, of course, the commander-in-chief, he is sided with some of these people as far as during the Charlottesville incident. He called them very good people. He's been an apologist for this group, and they're dangerous, and they're really trying to overthrow the government. So we got to keep our eyes on these people because they're terrorists, and we have to kind of make sure that the eyes are on them, and we're not deflecting and saying that left-wing extremists are terrorists, because you just can't equate the two, because one group is actually killing people and another group is just disrupting. So we got to make sure that the messages are facts versus just what the administration is trying to spew. All right, let's go to the next one. What we got next? Man, Cherokee County. So for all of my people so we're in Georgia right now, but I'm in Georgia. I think a few of our other co-hosts are in Georgia. And what's happening is Cherokee County, which is a suburb of Atlanta, they decided to open their schools this week. And on the first day, a second grader tested positive for COVID-19 on the first day. So they've closed the school. They've had to clean the school. Everyone who was in contact with the student has had to get tested. They're going to have to get tested, and they're going to have to go through the precautions over again, because of course, there's been pressure to bring these kids back to school, to keep them in classrooms. But we know that it's hard for kids to social distance. A lot of them don't want to wear a mask, and we can go to another slide where we have evidence of students not socially distancing.
Look at this.
This is North Paulding High School, which is another high school in Georgia. And you can just look at it. This is the hallway. I see 2 masks, but I don't see any social distancing. And
it's virtually impossible to social distance in a crowded hallway. It's like, how is, what are you gonna let 2 kids out at a time? Like, they'll never get to class. Like, this is crazy. It's like impossible.
Yeah, this is the reality. I want to keep it slide up for a second while we talk about this, but this is definitely the reality that we live in right now, as far as some school boards aren't really taking the precautions to keep kids safe, keep students safe. And you just look at this, and I just want to I know Cassie, she weighed in on this, but what do you guys think of this image right here? If you guys had a kid or a relative who had to be in this position, what would be your thoughts?
I'd be scared. Right. You just wouldn't be going to school at this point. Like, that's crazy.
I would homeschool. I would do the another option. I would say no, we can't chance it, because just because you may be younger or with whatever age group, this thing doesn't discriminate, right? So it's like you can be impacted and even if that child gets it at school, they can come home and give it to the parent or a grandparent or whatever the case may be. And I just don't feel like there's enough, really cautionary safety practices that's going on in general. It makes me mad, because I'm like, I have no idea why they would even open up schools if we are barely opening up. I mean, you standing in a line to get in a store, like literally, really, like you standing in a line, you got to wait 6 feet back when you're trying to check out for some potatoes and eggs. So why in the world are we putting our kids at risk on all those different levels? But I'm a calm all the way back down. And that's just, I'm passionate about it because I just don't understand how we could do something one way and then when it's about the next generation, we're not considering their health. That's just me.
Get them, Ty. Get them, Ty.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation. But what happens with, I guess, we have certain students. They came out with a study. They said a lot of students are going to be behind because of the distance learning. A lot of students are having difficulties learning when it's online. They're having difficulties paying attention and staying focused. You just imagine. I know when we were in school, we always had kids who just couldn't stay focused. They couldn't stay still. And you're just always going to have those students who they have those issues as far as just learning and being focused. So how do you combat that when you're going virtual? Like how do we solve that problem when we couldn't even solve that problem inside the classroom? How do we keep kids ahead of the curve or even on the curve when they're learning virtually?
I think it's better. Like if I'm a kid and I got a virtual learn and my mama right there, I can't play. Like I can't play. I can't not pay. I can't, like my mama.
Ain't no mamas. Just remember, Romeo, 53% of all Black and brown people can't work from home. So you're not going to even have, it's a joke. I mean, it's a real joke. So all of a sudden, mama's not there. And then what if mama really doesn't understand algebra? What if mama really doesn't have a laptop that's working or high speed
Wi-Fi? Yeah, Wi-Fi.
The catastrophe is huge, and there is a real thing called a tech desert, and there are tech deserts all in our community. People don't have functioning Wi-Fi. Teachers clearly are doing the best job they can, but why would you want to expose teachers? They've got families too, the janitor, the entire thing. So I think the question for us is, how are we as a community preparing to educate ourselves and support ourselves and supplement? I think those are the solutions we have to provide, even as a wake-up call. Here are the ways that you can actually educate and begin to supplement your child's education during this moment. Because if you're not thinking supplement, you're going to miss the moment. I mean, literally, there are a lot of mothers who have to work. So the fact that your child is there, the fact that your child has to pay attention to just a computer, what child at age 6 wants to stare at a computer all day for 4 hours?
All of them. They play games on their iPad and they
playing a game and at learning to spell your spelling words for the day so that you have a vocabulary in your life. That's not happening. You got to remember, for most kids, even going to kindergarten, sight words are 300 sight words. There are many children that don't have 300 sight words by the time they get to pre-K. I mean, it is a real question and a tragedy for an already oppressed, already community that has been sacrificing so much. Big ups to my brother Anthony Pender out there who signed on. But literally, you got big issues, Cass. The experience that they're getting ready to have. And it's real, Romeo. No child really wants to look at a computer all day. Oh, it's recess. Everybody play in the house and act like you playing. They know the difference. Anybody want to do that? It's going to be a real struggle.
I will say, I think this is just the moment for, we're going to have to shift and find alternative ways. There are a lot of resources out there that are interactive for young kids that help them to learn. So, there are multiple things that, I think it's just a moment where, there are a lot of parents who are trying to do their best. I think this is the moment where communities are going to have to pull together. If you have a little bit more understanding, then reach out and say, well, I know math, I could help you in this sense. Like, I could help your 5th grader understand their curriculum a little bit better, but it's definitely a difficult time, but we're definitely going to have to, come together as a community and kind of figure out what we can do.
Rolling out AM, the wake up call, wake up call for education. What should we do to help our community during this particular time? We're looking for your answers. If you share them with us, share the show. You're watching Rolling Out AM. We definitely have the creators. We've got great people coming on the show today, just kind of illustrate what's going on. This is Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. Ty Cooper, Romeo International, and of course, Cass in the city. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. Melody, unmute yourself so the world can hear your voice.
Good morning.
Good morning. Rise and shine.
Hey, look at that beautiful smile.
Thank you.
We're very excited to welcome you, Melody, from Curly Girl Collective and Curl Fest, which is something I've had the opportunity to experience. So I'm super excited to have you on today just to talk about the work you're doing. Please, thank you so much for joining us. Just tell people a little bit about yourself and Curl Fest and Curly Girl Collective.
Well, sure. Well, first of all, thank you for the support. It's super exciting to know that you've been there and all that good stuff. So my name is Melody Henderson. I am one of 5 co-founders and creators of Curly Girl Collective and Curl Fest. And for those of you who may not have the opportunity to have come, Curl Fest is the world's largest natural beauty festival. We are based in New York and scaled to Atlanta last year. And we garner about 40,000 people or so. And it's really a space we created to celebrate Black women and our community as a whole. It's really a marginalized community. And we thought it was important that there was a space to uplift us, celebrate, educate, all the things.
Absolutely. And so we're in this, moment right now, the pandemic. Last year, I had the opportunity to attend in Atlanta, which was the first year it was here, and it was an amazing experience. And I know you guys are, figuring out how you're going to expand. But as we're in this pandemic, this moment, I know you guys aren't going to have, an actual festival this year. But how has, the evolution of Curl Fest prepared you for this moment, and kind of shifting gears, to still continue you all's mission?
Good question. I think, well, at our root, so just a little bit of backstory. We started out, it was just friends. We had an email chain and we would just chat all day, every day about hair. Some of us newly transitioned to natural hair, wearing it in its natural state. And we decided to get together. One of my now business partners hosted us at her house. And it was literally just maybe 15 or so people. And something about connecting in person was amazing. And we were like, how do we bring this to the rest of the world? And then our business was born. But I bring that up to say it's almost humbling now. We're doing the reverse, right? So we put it out in the world. We said we're going to break down this sort of digital barrier and have it in person. And now in a lot of ways, we're doing the reverse. It's really important for us to still, even though we can't be in person, to connect with our community. Because we have about a 250,000 followers in total. So obviously all those people can't come to Curl Fest just yet. Right. So it's important. So we've been able to create, online experiences that we're connecting with them on a daily basis.
I love that. I think about how it evolved and like how Curl Fest just kind of organically grew, which is still the same algorithm that put it together, right? So one thing I absolutely know too is that this hair brings all women of color together, regardless. Like this is what we talk about. Like me and Cass were talking about it when we first started the show. I was like, "Oh, right. Cass, your curls are gorgeous." Yeah. And it's already like an organic conversation that we, love to have. So my question is, what turned your passion into profit with Curl Fest? Because now you're doing it. It was in person. Now you're going virtual. Yes. From you and your friends, what turned that passion?
And passion is the underscore that is the driving force for everything that we do, because it's a lot. To be frank, it's a lot of work, right? But when you get those moments, whether it be someone comes up to you in the crowd and literally tears, thanking us for what we've been able to do and bring us together and put a spotlight on us as a people, you start to realize very quickly that it transcends hair. Yes, hair is at its root, but it really is about self-acceptance, it's about self-identity, it's about forging through and just breaking down society's definition of what beauty is, right? Which we haven't typically, as a Black female, been included in that. And I think when we talk about from a profitability standpoint, how do you go from passion to business? Because essentially that's what it is. It's really understanding what your audience needs. So we always say we're like our target audience, the 5 of us. And a lot of times that drives some of our decisions. What do I need? What would I need? What kind of education? What kind of products? What kind of brands do I want to be connected with? And that's a big part of the guiding force. I mean, I think from when we first started to now, the industry has changed, and we're happy that we've been a part of that, right? We've been trailblazers in terms of connecting brands. Now, when we first started, you couldn't find anything for natural hair. It's like maybe one product on the shelf. Now there's whole aisles in Target full of various options. But I think when those options come, actually comes more questions, right? Now you have choices. Where's that guidance to let you know what might be good for you?
I love it because it's a resource guide. Curl Fest is just a resource guide almost. It's like the holy grail of curl, what you need to know and learn. So I love that you put the education pieces to it as well, because that's what we want to know. Like I'm natural as well, but I like to wear my hair straight.
Yeah.
But there's a piece of it's like, okay, I don't want to lose my curl pattern with. And so whenever I was at Curl Fest, it was so many options and products and styles, and just kind of gave you this whole swag about your hair and just giving confidence to it. So I love that, Melody. Love it.
It definitely was like a big party, of just everything. I mean, and I think people hear the name Curl Fest and think it's just for women with curly hair, but literally, I mean, there's bantu knots, there's braids, there's locks, there's twists, there's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so many different styles, and it was just, I mean, not only like was the hair, you're like, oh yes, I love the curls, I love the color, I love the cut, I love this. It's like the fashion, it was just like the energy was just, amazing. So I definitely want to talk about some of these, programs you're doing, virtually right now, and how you're keeping that connection going online.
Yes. So basically what we did, as part of Pivot, which I feel like the word of 2020 is pivot, right? Like literally all things that you knew before are no longer the same, and you just going through, right? But at its core, our mission really is to be connectors, right? We're connectors, we're disruptors. So we launched a weekly session called Curly Girl Convos, and is an opportunity, a one-on-one live conversation with everyone from influencers to celebrity to educators to brands to therapists. And it's really a moment for us to pause and connect, right? So we're able to connect for those who join us online live, and then obviously we save it so that people can engage later depending on your schedules. But we've been pretty choice in terms of like the topics of discussion. Like one of the ones that we did that was widely popular was we had Dr. Joy. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but she's the founder of Therapy for Black Girls. And in this space, as you all know, it's hard, right? It's just hard moving through this pandemic. And I think now more than ever, it's important for us to, your mental well-being is an intricate part of how you show up and who you are every day, right? So yes, like I said, hair is sort of like at the center, but there's so much more to us as a people. And this pandemic and the pivot has given us an opportunity to shine a little bit more light on the other facets of the Black woman.
I agree, because, right now, while you touched on the pandemic, a lot of women of color, or just women in general, we're now facing mental health, things that are going on, and we're trying to adjust. And like you said, we're trying to pivot. So what has been the most, I would say, asked for or requirement that, you know, you see a need to fulfill for Black women right now?
Well, you know, it's interesting because I do think it's ever changing, right? I would say the stuff that rises to the top 100% is support. I think for so long, and I'm just going to speak broadly, but I think a lot of people can relate. For so long, we've just been pillars, right? In every aspect of our lives. And I think now that the world is just in this state that none of us are familiar with or used to, it's even more important to have that support system. So I would say that was one. Definitely in the beginning of the pandemic, everyone wanted to know what to do with their hair. As you guys see, I'm still in a protective style,
right?
Because you couldn't get to your hairdresser. So it was an opportunity for us to say, okay, yeah, we know how do you deep condition? What oil should be using? Where could you get products? How could you make products? Like it's you know, just even getting up and doing your hair makes you kind of feel there's some level of normalcy, right? So now as outside starts to open, the conversation shifts a little. But generally, I think it's the stuff that, you know, we all kind of just experience, and you kind of want to feel good. What are those levers that makes you feel good when you wake up in the morning and push through the day, whether you're in your living room or your kitchen or your bedroom because there's nowhere else to go? But what are the levers that made you happy prior to the pandemic? How can we underscore, how can we highlight those things? So there's just some level of normalcy.
And before you get out of here, Melody, I want to ask you, I know you guys are going to do Curl Fest, this beauty summit virtually. Tell us a little bit about that, when it will be, and how people can connect.
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, we're super excited. So part of our pivot, you know, it was really important for us to still do something, right? And part of the process of us identifying what that was, it was, okay, let's do a beauty summit. So we're having a Curl Fest Beauty Summit in September, mid-September. And it'll be, you'll be able to access and find out all the good info we're about to drop on any of our platforms. So at Curly Girl Collective on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, or curlfest.com. And really it's gonna be, think of it as a full view of us. So we're gonna touch on various topics, influencers, bring you brands, bring you vibes. We're going to try to recreate some of the vibe virtually, you know, and really just an opportunity for us to continue to connect on key points that we feel are important. And in particular, the conversation. So similar to some of the conversations we started to happen, the ones where we see there's an uptick and people are joining. We're like, okay, is there a way for that to bring that to the masses? And I think one of the parts we get, you know, people come from all over, South Africa, Europe, but I think this is a nice way. The virtual affords us the opportunity to really, truly, intentionally connect with our global community. So we're excited.
Absolutely. And one more time, where can people follow Curl Fest?
Yes, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, we're at Curly Girl Collective. And our website is curlfest.com. You can sign up and be part of the collective, get up to date on sort of what we're doing, new things we're dropping. Got a couple things in store.
Awesome.
Great. Well, we're so glad that you joined us today. Thank you so much. We do have some questions. Is there a cost? I don't know if you guys have released that information yet. Is there a cost for, you know, the virtual experience?
Yes, so we will be announcing shortly. So I encourage the person who asked the question to follow us on any of our platforms, and they'll be first to know.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Melody, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Melanie, for joining the AM Wake Up Call with me and Cass in the city. We appreciate it. Don't forget, everyone, to also follow Rolling Out on Facebook Live, shares, like us, in addition to, all of that. And then we appreciate you, Queen, this morning.
Oh, thank you for your time. Thanks for having me, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Melody, don't forget to shout out the show, too, so you can share.
Thanks, Mel. We appreciate all you guys do for the culture. So thank you so much. Continue. Success.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. You know, Melody and them, they're doing a great job over there. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
You know, I have to do a
They
little
definitely
dance
are.
break.
Oh, good dance break. Oh, definitely dance break. Thanks to everybody who's tuning in. Definitely share the show. And our next guest is here. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? You're watching Rolling Out AM. Wake up call. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up, Romeo!
Let me say this. Ty Cass, I love watching y'all work. That is gorgeous. But another person that's gorgeous, all the way from the other side of the planet, talent, superstar, Spotify. I don't even know what else to add to your list. Introduce yourself to the Rolling Out AM show.
What's up, guys? Good morning. My name is Tiana Coker. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, good night to you, because this.
Yes. Good night to me. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. here. I'm in the Philippines, for those of you who don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're jealous.
I mean, I feel like you should be jealous if there wasn't a pandemic going on.
Right.
Go out. But yeah, I'm so happy to be here. It's nice to see all of you.
Nice to see you as well.
First of all, when I was first informed about you, I was like, nah, she ain't that dope. And then I looked and I was like, hold on, time out. Somebody's taking over like iTunes spot, like somebody is just taking over. Let me start off with this. Being a artist today, how are you dealing with the pandemic? Or are you dealing with the pandemic?
Yeah, honestly, I was a bit bummed in the beginning because I had so many gigs lined up. I was supposed to have a performance in Denver. I was supposed to go to South by Southwest. I was supposed to have another gig in Big Bear. So I was like looking forward to this year. I was like, oh my gosh, guys. Like I was telling like my dancers, because we all travel together. I was so excited. Like we're gonna be booked. We're gonna be going all these places we've never been to. And then sometime March, like the world just decided to just shut down, and we were all just like, okay, what are we gonna do? And so I was like, I mean, I still have all this music that I can release. So I was still, trying to put them out and create visuals. So I made a lyric video that has like 500,000 views now, and another music video from my most recent single called F With You that came out, I think like 2 weeks ago. And we were able to make a music video through Snapchat with all my girlfriends around the world. I think there's around 10 countries involved and 40 girls all over the world involved. So still able to adapt. I think it's a very good trait to have, is to be able to adapt no matter the situation. Yeah.
That's what we're all trying to do right now.
Yeah.
Adapt to all these changes,
right.
Everything that's going on. I think it's really cool that you took the virtual way and like did this really nice setup of like the video to actually put out your music. I think that was really dope.
Yeah, I always like releasing visuals when I release my singles. And so I just don't feel like, personally, like for me, like a release is complete without a visual. So I was like, man, what can I do? I'm like 7,000 miles away from all my friends. I was like, okay, let me think. Oh, everybody has Snapchat. So I sent everybody the song, and they were like, I was like, okay, guys, if you can just learn it and then do whatever you want to it. Like my sister was actually in the video, and she was like, what do I do? And I'm like, literally do whatever. So she was gardening while filming herself. And so it's really interesting to see what my friends were able to come up with in my family, and just give people the creative control.
You know what? I'm gonna make sure before we get out of here that we actually show that video, because I want
definitely.
them. And
it's really fun. Like my mom has a little cameo in it as well. I put her in it. It's a family affair. Yeah.
You gotta have mommy in there, right?
Of course I have to have my mom. Yeah.
That's awesome. And F With You, within the first week, streamed over 15,000 times. Like, tell us a little bit about, the song, your inspiration behind it.
So it's produced by Lainey Stewart. He's done Fergie, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, Chris Brown, so like a veteran producer. And so it was the first song I actually worked on with him. And so we were on getting to know each other. We were just still vibing with each other, but I actually recorded this a year ago. So it's been a year. It's been sitting on the shelves for a year, but we were like, okay, you know what? I feel like the world just needs a little pick me up. And yeah, so we were like, why don't we release it now? It's a very summer sounding song, because when I recorded it, I had another song that was coming out that I wanted to release before it. So we kind of shelved it for a bit. And so I was talking to my publicist and my team, and like I think we all just kind of agreed to just release it. We just really wanted something that was like very flirty, but still kind of like mysterious, but still fun and like young and energetic. So we ended up coming up with this song, and I like sometimes I get sick of myself, like hearing myself, but for some reason I don't get sick of the song, just because like I don't know, for me it's just like happy vibes.
It's an exciting time for you right now. And I got a question, but we got the video queued up, so we're gonna play a portion of it so everybody can see.
Usually the one who wanna save on. Never thought that I'd be here calling you baby, baby, baby. I don't like wasting my time, I don't like risking it all. Too busy handling mine, too independent to fall. And I don't even know why you make me want to shove. To keep it honey, honey, I think I liar. Now all I do is think about you. Every night lay up with you. Just can't get you off my mind. And you know that's why I fuck with you. And all the lies that I done drawn, you've been erasing. Never usually the one who wants to save on. Never thought that I'd be here calling you baby, baby, baby. But
Hold on. Hold on. You're telling me so you got all your friends on Snapchat to do
Literally
a version
all over the world. Like I had a friend in Indonesia, I had a friend in Russia, I had a friend in South Korea, Canada, London, like everywhere, all over the world. I was like, guys, I want to just make like a women anthem right now.
Yes.
So I was like, I'm gonna get all my female friends together in one video, and we're just gonna smash it.
Tiana, it kind of reminds me of like, I know it's totally different, but you remember the song "We Are the World"? Like you brought everybody together across the world and gave so much energy. Thank you for that. Like it's just,
you're
welcome.
I see you rocking to it. You was like, I can't, I love this song, even though I made it.
Just being able to see all my friends and like the women in my family as well in like a video together just makes me so happy. Knowing that, even though during this time when the world is like in peril, we were all still able to come together and create something that was really fun. And like, I'm so happy that I have this to look back to in like 5 years time, when I'm just kind of reminiscing about 2020 and to see that I, was able to come up with this.
No, I think one of the things that stood out to me the most, because me and Cass talk about, creativity, and like what Ty just said, like out of everything going on, right? People are trying to figure out, what do I do, or how do I move forward? And the fact that you was like, well, Snapchat right here, so you know what? I guess I'm about
Literally,
to do this.
like, takes 15 seconds. Like me filming myself like was probably like collectively like not even an hour. And so I was like, okay, 3 outfit changes, get the dog in, get the dog out. So I was like, yeah, I mean, I wanted it to like be easy for everyone as well. So I was like, just pick your filter and then film yourself.
Well, we definitely want to congratulate you coming all the way over from the Philippines and stuff like that. Do you want to make our announcement now? Do you want me to tell the world our announcement now? You want me to let them know?
Go.
Okay, so me and Tiana, we got a song coming out together.
There you go. Coming out soon.
No, it's gonna be called "Love from Across the Seas," and I'm gonna debut it next month.
Pacific Ocean.
Yep, that's what us.
Tiana said this is the first time she's heard of the song. She
Right.
said
But she going with it. You know,
she
I
is
love that
rolling
about
with
you.
it.
You're truly an innovator. Like you're truly
Yes.
just you go with the flow. So I love that.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what Romeo
We
says.
adapt to whatever situation we're put in.
There you go.
That's awesome. We love your attitude.
Yeah.
Thank
Tell,
you.
tell everybody how to stay connected. Matter of fact, can you give us a verse of the song? Can you give us some vocals? I know it's not.
No,
Oh.
let's do it. Do you want me to do the first verse or like the
Up to
hook?
you, whatever you feel.
All right, I'll do the pre-hook to the hook. So now all I do is think about you every night, lay up with you. Just can't get you off my mind. And you know that's why I fuck with you. And all the lights that I'd enjoy you've been erasing. Never usually the one I wanna save from. Never thought that I'd be here calling you baby, baby, baby. But I fuck with you. And all the rules that I didn't say it got me breaking. Wanting you to meet my mama, that shit crazy. Never thought that I'd be here calling you baby, baby, baby.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, yeah, I can sing it.
Right.
Duh. It's my song. You did that, girl.
I thought she was gonna do
yeah.
me. No, I can sing it. Let's go.
I was like low key expecting to sing. So like right before this, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I gotta do my vocal warm up. I gotta do it all. But
You
yeah.
sound amazing.
Love it.
Thank you.
Beautiful voice. Beautiful.
Tell everybody how to stay connected to you before you get out of here.
Absolutely. So all my socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, it's all my name, which is at Tiana Coker. That's TianaKocher. And I do post like all my latest music and articles, and I put all my links to all my interviews on my website, which is tianacoker.com. Just making it easy. It's just the same thing, all platforms.
Okay, and shout out to the Rolling Out AM Wake Up Call. That's my partner Ty
Shout out to Rolling Out. Thank you guys so much for Thank you so much. So much fun. Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
I know. I can't wait till we debut. I'm ready.
Absolutely. Across the Pacific. It's happening.
Across the Pacific.
Coming out soon.
Y'all heard her. Y'all heard her. Across the Pacific.
You're gonna need more than a little me. He's gonna need a vocal coach.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. Shout out to Rolling Out. This was so much fun. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Tiana.
Bye.
I think first of all, I gotta say this, Ty. Nobody can give me no video excuse now. Now nobody can give me no video excuse now.
Hold on, wait. Now I don't know where you going with this.
No.
Music video. Music video. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, because you just got to get creative. Like Kehlani, literally, she shot all her album cover herself. She shot visuals, videos herself, like in her house during quarantine. So, it's definitely possible. Just got to put in the work. You got to get creative.
I'm glad you said that, Kaz. You got to put, and I think that's the problem, man. People are not taking time to actually sit, think, and put in the work. Like it's right. There's nothing. There's probably 70%. You could do anything in the world with this.
Yeah. On that phone. Yeah.
And like you said, like there's a cool aesthetic to like having all your friends on Snapchat. I mean, it's not a traditional music video. So
we're in a time
too we can look back on.
Reality shows. We want to see real reactions. It doesn't have to be so like put together. I mean, yeah, I love that vibe that she gave. And she was like, any means necessary. I'm gonna make it happen.
That's the play. AR, what's up?
That's dope, man. That's where it's headed, man. I think right now, what's happening is that people are realizing that you don't have to put all this money into production. Like you can really pull off something if you can get your message out there, whether it's video, whether it's film or music. You can definitely use your phone to actually put your product out there. I think we really know this right now. Like it opened a lot of eyes to how you can to promote your product just online, man. Because just think about it. Like I'm waiting for the first Zoom movie, like a whole movie that's just gonna be on Zoom. Like it's gonna happen. You know?
It's
so it's
definitely
like,
gonna happen.
Yeah, so crazy. So the rumor, Ty, is that Netflix allegedly is about to start having movie premieres. Netflix. So it's going to be limited. Like the four of us, we would be able to invite 25 people into our Netflix and be able to watch as a team group together. Now I've seen people do it where I don't know if they're doing it the correct way, Amir. I've seen people do it to where you can place a link of a movie on Zoom, but it's not really a movie premiere type of thing. But I agree with you, man. Like, I think this new normal is going to become more stronger than the regular normal. Ain't nobody going back to no concerts. Like Ty said, I'm gonna watch my concert from my own. I can watch it from TV.
Yeah, on TV. You know what I really wish though, we would do more of, like, we're really just repeating history. Like, I wish that, like you said, Romeo and Amir, everything is virtual, right? Everything is virtual. And Cass, I think you brought this up too with how students learn. There should be different options and different ways that we need to go about things, even with movies. Let's go back to the drive-ins. Like, what? Those work, right? Like, why not do the drive-in? I
went to a drive-in. Starlight.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to go to one. They just don't have like all the latest releases.
Yeah, they got like the old stuff.
And they have limited times. So if they expand their timing, like if they have multiple showings, they could, do well.
Now, Ty called it too. Cass, hold on. Amir, what did you just say?
What did I say? I don't know. What did I say? I said a lot of things.
He could have gone to the drive-in by himself. My goodness.
Yeah, I could have just wanted to see something, man. I'm an independent brother, man. I travel by myself. I go to other countries by myself.
Amir, I was not thinking that. I didn't pick that up. That was Romeo.
I'm like,
I didn't even pick it up myself. I'm like, what did I
say? So you're not getting tagged either. I see what it is. This goes back to the question of the day. Amir not getting tagged. I'm at the drive-in by myself. That's what I'm talking about.
I can see that being relaxing. Going to the drive-in by yourself, you bring all your snacks. You enjoy it by yourself. You ain't got to worry about nobody else. You're in your car, chilling.
Quarantining in the car. Okay.
Yeah, they definitely just need to add more new movies. They need to start releasing new movies, and they need to have better show times because nobody can go to movies at 2 p.m. Right. Like, I need y'all to have some 2 p.m. if you having shows. I'm like, nah, y'all need like
I thought it had to be
7 p.m., a 9 p.m. Nah, I looked at Starlight one day and it was like in the middle of the day. I'm like, who driving in the drive-thru when it's sunny out?
Go see Blackula. Blackula? Yeah, it's playing it too.
Yeah, it's definitely old movies.
Yeah, it's definitely old.
Update it.
Let's go to the I want to go to my next slide if we haven't pulled up.
Let's go, man.
Man, much shout out to Cori Bush. She's on the verge of making history, man. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with her, but last night she unseated a 10-term Congressman, William Lacey Clay Jr. And she could be the first Black woman to represent Missouri in Congress. And so we want to definitely, promote her, make sure we, promote her, get her out there. She's a nurse, and also she's in the streets, man. Like she's fighting for the righteous cause. She's been in the streets. We have some video that I want to show you guys, so you can kind of get a feel of what she does, man. Because she's definitely someone we want to get behind.
We are making history right now. This is a history-making moment. This is our moment. This is our moment. Black, brown, white, Asian, indigenous, immigrant, and descendants of Africans who were enslaved in America and first-generation refugees. This is our moment.
We
have to affect true change in St. Louis. And true change comes when our people are taken care of. So whatever we have to do to make sure our folks are taken care of, that's what we got to do. Gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, pansexual, asexual, trans, and queer. This is our moment.
We need folks like Sister Bush who are willing to put something on the line, not for the next election, but for the next generation.
The overlooked, the exploited, the movers, the breakers, the builders, the shakers, and the laborers. This is our moment.
Bush's campaign and the history of St. Louis in Missouri is a story and a history about people who dare to get free.
Teachers, nurses, farmers, veterans, store clerks, hotel workers, firefighters, and service members. This is our moment. To the black women making 61 cents on the dollar, the black families who have had the just make it home safely baby talk. This is our moment.
Wow.
So that's what it is. Corey Bush, y'all make sure that if you're on social, make sure you push her out on social. If you got friends in Missouri, make sure that you got that you encourage them to vote, because she's definitely a change agent. She's somebody that we want to definitely get behind, because we can see her actually doing big things if she gets into Congress. So shout out to Corey Bush, man. Much respect. We're gonna work on getting her on the show so we can get her side of her, can let her tell her story, because she's definitely amazing. She's definitely a winner.
That's dope. I'm showing her out today. That's dope.
I am too, for sure. Thank you for sharing that, Amir.
Definitely. What's up? Go ahead, Romeo.
Our family member here is Unc here. Is Unc in the building?
I think he's here. We're waiting on him to join us. Rodney.
What up?
You see, as soon as you came on, Cass Light came on.
I know.
You know, she always got a light cascading across her face.
It's all thanks to you.
Oh man.
How are you doing? First of all, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank y'all for asking me. You know, it's
appreciate you joining.
It's been an interesting ordeal.
Can you no, I know you open book. Can you like walk us through when you realized something was wrong?
Well, I've been in the hospital as of now like 9 days. I felt like I was sick. I had like chills and fever and extreme diarrhea. And so I began to quarantine myself. I came to the VA because I'm a vet, and they gave me the COVID test, and I test negative. And so I was like, cool, I'm cool. And then a couple of days later, I just got sick again. And so the next time I came to the VA, I test positive. That was like 9 days ago, and I've been in the hospital ever since.
So you went on lockdown immediately?
Yeah. I quarantined myself for a few days. Yeah. But
did they say why that your first initial test came back negative?
I mean, it's you either negative or you positive. It's just that's what it is. You know, this is what I learned is that as much as we can mask up and everything, they're really still trying to understand it. Mm-hmm. You know, and so they're trying to understand, and it's a lot to do with your oxygen levels, your blood oxygen levels, and things of that nature. And so they've been monitoring that over the last few days with me personally. And then there's other everybody has different symptoms.
Okay.
What's up, Mr. Munson?
What's going on? Well, you know how to check in on my brother. You know, I know you're sitting there working on new content right there from the hospital bed, trying to figure out what it is, you know, so you can add it to your routine. I'm sure you're coming up with some new nurse routines, obviously, for everybody who comes in. They're a nice nurse.
Let me tell you something, Steve. God loves me, man. Every time I need some new material, something happens. it never fails, man. I had diarrhea so bad. I boo-booed out some stuff I ain't seen since I was 4. I seen a Etch a Sketch. I seen a Slinky. I seen. I got all my old toys. I found some Legos. It's been crazy.
Oh my goodness.
No.
So it cleaned you out, huh, brother?
Oh, your boy is super clean right now.
I was watching the post that you made, and the first thing that popped up in my head, man, I was like, what? Because you could have just rolled this out. Like, what made you tell yourself, hey, I gotta let people know that this is real? Because
well, you it's like anything else, Romeo, man. Is when we live a public life, and what I realize, a lot of people just kind of don't understand and don't know. And we watching Mr. Fauci or Donald Trump or whoever you get your information from, CNN, AT&T, and Fox, but you very seldom get a firsthand account of what people are going through. And so I decided to share that, and it's been an outpouring of love and great energy, man.
Gotcha.
And I see all the jokes,
I see it.
They clowning you too, huh?
Man, I saw my homegirl hit me up. She's like, man, let's send a prayer out for my boy Rodney Perry, but it was a picture that said the entertainer. I'm like, y'all wrong.
Oh man.
Laughter is good for the soul.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Plus, I saw.
Go ahead, Romeo.
I was saying. Plus, I saw I was watching Kevin Hart his live, and I don't know if you know, but he was shouting you out, and he was like, "Yeah, man, Rodney just wanted to take a vacation, so this was his best excuse that he could come up with, just so that he don't got to show his face." I was like, "Okay," but the love and respect for you is like real, like that.
Yeah, I got mad respect for my peers, man, and cats like Kevin. First of all, Kevin couldn't just let me have my stroke. He had to go and have a wreck, and so I had to put on top of his wreck. I had to put this COVID-19 on. We always battling.
Oh man.
No, but all jokes aside, man, it's been a really interesting ordeal. I was in ICU for the last like 4 days. I came out of ICU yesterday, and I'm in a regular room right now. And I met with my doctor this morning. I should be going home in the next couple of days.
Cool. So you never made it to the ventilator?
No, I was not. I haven't been intubated or on a ventilator. My mother suffered from COPD, so I was very astutely aware of the ventilator and not wanting to have a machine breathe for me. And so that was always a big thing for me, because once a machine starts breathing for you, it's a bad day, Mr. Munson.
A lot of people who've tested positive for coronavirus, they can actually pinpoint the time where they kind of thought, figured out a kind of thing that they actually caught it or actually contracted it. Do you have that time frame within you? Do you know, were you like around a lot of people, or?
I was never around a lot of people, to be honest. So, I mean, most of us are trying to, backtrack to a human being or to a moment. And again, man, it's like, I would love to be able to say that exactly, but I can't say. I can't say exactly, And I mean, Atlanta is so cavalier, man. Whether you're, a run to a grocery store or whatever, it could be that thing that really, lock you up for the next 10, 15, 14 days.
What are you talking about? The club's still open. Atlanta just don't care.
The club is cracking.
Well, I'm sure they're trying to get you to do some shows right there from the bed, Rodney. I mean, you gotta go ahead and do a show. live from the VA for all the people that are there.
You know, I have jokes will travel, but I mean, I'm just trying to get out of here, Munson, man. More than anything, get back home and you take so much for granted, man, and just being at home and being in your humble abode, when you can't be there, I've been in this room for 9 days, man. That's a lot.
We'll all start talking to you then.
Hey, that's one of the really most interesting things is that it's super isolating, guys. Like if you know anybody dealing with this, talk to them, man. Because I've had nobody to talk to but myself for the last 10 days. It's a lot, It's a lot.
You're always in our thoughts and prayers here, Rolling Out AM. Had to reach out for you. Never want you to imagine that you're not part of the team here at Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. We wanted everybody to wake up to that face with Rodney Perry so that they could see that Rodney Perry was still out there, trooper, stroke survivor, and obviously COVID survivor. So, sending you love. Don't want you to talk too much, but we're always happy to hear your voice and, look out for more Legos that probably going to come out during this period, Rodney. Look forward to that, And,
hey, I love you guys, each and every one of y'all, and y'all always been mad respectful for me and my family, and I appreciate the kind words, guys, for real.
All right, well, thanks for checking in. We'll check in with you. Make it home safe, and we'll see you soon, my brother. Love you.
All right,
peace.
Till next time.
Yes, sir.
Be good.
Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. Shout out and prayers to all those who are suffering. Shout out to prayers to all of those who are actually on the front line, providing and thinking and loving those individuals who are suffering with COVID. We don't want to ever forget the frontline workers, the cashiers, that includes them, the people that put your food out, the young people and the old people that literally have to come deliver those groceries, deliver those packages. We want to shout out to all of them because they too are exposing themselves when they walk up to your door, you're not wearing a mask, and you grab that package. So have some love and kindness, even when you pick up your packages, even when you go get your groceries, even at the gas station. If they don't require it of yourself, some self-love and self-respect for everybody out there. What's up, everybody?
Ty said it perfectly on Monday. It don't get real until it hits your house. Until it hits somebody it don't get real. And people just don't understand. This is not no TV show. Amir give y'all the numbers every single week. This ain't no roll of the dice. This is a real game that 45 is playing with the world. This is a real game he playing with the world. And y'all need to get out that game and he got to go. Let's vote. I need everybody to vote. We vote. Matter of fact, that's what my new thing is gonna be. Wear a mask and vote, because clearly this is nothing to play with. And I watched that video, and it was so interesting that when I watched the video, I don't know if you guys saw it. He was hooked up to a whole bunch of stuff. I was just like, man, I want to see that.
Shout out to Vivian. Shout out to Reginald. Shout out to everybody out there on IG, on Pinterest, on Twitter, on Cass's forehead. Everybody out there who's out there just watching us on Facebook, on Amir's Dreads, all those people that happen.
That's jokes.
We just had Rodney Perry.
Right.
I was like, huh? I got it.
Oh, we just had Rodney
Romeo, what they saying?
Well, first of all, shout out to everybody, and this is so love and warm. Everybody from the Philippines that's checking in right now because of Tiana. Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, share our show in the Philippines. We're happy to have that. We love everybody. Period.
Maximum Maximua Bay, Stanley Evans, James Terry Shropshire's in the building. Irish, you know we love you. Cheryl D. Sam, Nikki Freeman, Angel Jeter. Definitely, you know what? I'm gonna make sure I shout y'all out today on Instagram. Everybody in the Philippines, everybody, whatever city you in. Let us know what city you in so that the team can shout you out in your city. But this is dope, man. I didn't make my way to the Philippines, I ain't never been.
Global. We just went global.
Right. Shout out.
Man, so this is great, man. Rolling Out AM, the wake up call, like Cass in the City, Ty, AR, Mr. Steve, Boy, Young Anakin, Romeo International. What's going on with Southwest Air? Southwest Air.
Southwest Airline.
Yeah.
So apparently there's some there's some reports that they're not sanitizing their seats or seat belts between flights. And yes, there's some reports. There's allegedly, so it's being alleged that they're not sanitizing, they're not wiping down, and they're not taking the precautions to keep the plane clean. Just your thoughts on that. I mean, I haven't been on a plane since March. I think last time I was on a plane was when we did the black women's event.
Black Enterprise.
Black Enterprise. It was the last time I was on a plane. So yeah. So what are you guys thinking about as far as airlines who are not taking the precautions to clean the planes?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely crazy. The last time I was on a plane was in March also, and I think back, like, the planes were full in March, and coronavirus was here in March. So, you know, now, I mean, people, it's not full capacity, but, you know, the fact they're not sanitizing is crazy. But even if they are sanitizing, I'm like, I would definitely be Lysol wiping, Clorox wiping, everything that I'm sitting on anyway. But this is it's a little crazy. They're not gonna take that extra precaution.
Yeah, I think everybody should do that because we should not just be relying on companies or anybody to take the right safety precautions for us.
Yeah.
You know, I think Romeo said it earlier, you know, mask up. You got to do whatever it is you need to do because it's not just protecting you, it's protecting those that you love, that you're always around as well. So, I mean, like they said, it's allegedly, you know, it's alleged that they're not taking the right safety precautions. But for instance, like for my birthday, I went out of town and it was just a drive. I didn't fly, but when I got to the hotel room, I definitely like just sanitized all the high touch areas. But I went even further and I just cleaned the whole entire room over again for my sanity. So to your point, Cass, just make sure you do it yourself. Even if they did do it. I mean, I think that's important too.
100%. I mean, last time I was on a plane that started with an S. Like it was so bad. They asked me, did I want to fly for the last hour? I was like, hey man, how does this? What plane service is? Y'all know who I'm talking about. They are terrible. I'm just saying. Like, you feel like flying? First of all, but hey, if you're gonna, at this point in time, if you're gonna travel, take precaution. If you're gonna go out, take precaution. It is not killing you. And I love people when they give me these arguments. It is not killing you to wear a mask. It is really not. It is really not a death sentence to put on a mask to protect yourself, number one, and the others that are around you. It is not that serious.
Yeah, I missed one, but we got some Beyonce news.
I'm trying to figure out about the Aurora police, Amir, and how they're apologizing. So check that out so we can really understand why they're doing it and why they did what they did. Because that was a bothering thing for me.
Okay. So I'm gonna get that story after we do Beyonce, then we can pull that up. Or if they have it, if you guys have it, or okay. So here's the situation, what's going on with Beyonce. Let's go back to the actual tweet. So there's a lot of, so following Black is King, there's been this dispute about someone coined and said that Beyonce, she's the new Mama Africa. So a lot of Africans have been going back and saying no, that she can never be Mama Africa. This guy tweeted, he says, I can't read the tweet, it's so small, but he basically rebukes the idea that Beyonce should be called Mama Africa. And okay, here it is. Africans love Beyonce, no doubt. They've supported her through Destiny Child and Black is King, but to announce her Mama Africa is disrespect to my mother, my sister, my wife, my daughter, and the likes of other African women. I don't want to mess these names up, but so just to get the gist, if you go on social media, there's been this big rift about, Beyonce's role. Some people think that she's appropriating Africa for money. And it's just a lot of disputes. And I just want to talk about this because there seems to be like miscommunication between Black Americans and Africans at times. I have a lot of African friends who, I grew up with. I even now to this day, I have friends who stay in Ghana and Nigeria. And I just want to get your thoughts as far as, the rift and the miscommunication between Black Americans and Africans. Like, why do you think there's a rift?
Well, I think the main thing is because for so long, African Americans didn't really touch on African culture, in our music, in our style, it wasn't a popular thing, I feel like. So the reason they're saying that, I think, is because it's become so widely popular. A lot of people we're discovering our roots and, embracing them. So I think for them, it's like, we've always been, this has always been our country. We've always been Africa. We've always been proud of who we are, and the disconnect for African Americans is we haven't always had that true connection and understanding to our African roots, obviously, due to slavery. So I think that's the big issue. There was also some conversation about a lot of the symbolism she used and people saying that, we're trying to demonize her and saying, all these different things about the symbols she was using, which came from a lot of African tribes and culture and heritage. So I don't know who said that Mama Africa, I'm not really familiar with that. I guess just meaning like, a powerful person in Africa, or like a queen of, or something like that, which I don't think is fair. I don't know why anyone would say that. So I definitely understand their backlash to that. Like, there are definitely, people here, African women here, who have always embraced our culture and loved our culture and pushed it. So I definitely get that. That's a little far-fetched, but there's a huge disconnect, obviously, between African culture and African Americans, because for so long we were denied of our true heritage and our roots, and even learning about that. So I definitely feel there's a disconnect.
Right, because the Eurocentric way was to Romeo, you said demonize it. So a lot of the things that she did do, or that we are now seeing, it's now seen as, oh, it's voodoo, or oh, it's just so bad, or wizardry, or whatever the case may be, when really it's just her way of acknowledging our culture overall, African American. It's just, it's just a form of acknowledgement. And let me just be clear about something. First of all, everybody Black did not always embrace the African side, and still don't. Let's just be honest about it. So we have never been there. There's still education that still needs to happen to the African Americans about our African heritage. So they may have misconstrued the Mother Africa or Mama Africa, however it was said. They may have misconstrued her acknowledgement, or even somebody saying Beyonce is Mama Africa. It's really just them saying that, yes, she's educating us. Yes, she's like a mother trying to nurture and give us this information that we need for us to embrace the beauty of African culture. So,
and I think that
before you, I know I'm gonna let you guys, but before we go on, Mama Africa is actually like a title they give to like specific, I guess, powerful women. Like there's a woman, Yemi Alade. They say that she is Mama Africa. So I guess she is the one that that embraces that. And they're saying that Beyonce can't get that title because she wasn't born on the continent.
In Africa.
Okay, she won't get the title, but at the end of the day, they need to know that we are also in the process of being educated and learning ourselves about it. So this is just something I don't think they had any malintentions by it. But then again, I don't know. But we still need to be educated.
So I gotta flow off of Ty before I forget this. So Ty is right. So the way that Beyonce took it was on a prideful, let me teach you, let me show you, let me educate you on the experience of the culture. I think before what's happened in music and hip hop, they made it a trend. If you think about it, they made Africa a trend. It was a shirt. It was the little
dashiki. Yeah.
It was a necklace thing. Rappers who never been there, it was a rap line. It was, you know what I'm saying? So I've run into African artists who don't really F with, it's funny, I've run into Black African artists who don't really F with Black American artists. And if you notice, there's very few Black American artists that actually collaborate with Black African artists. So it's kind of like, y'all don't even know our culture. Y'all don't even know your African culture to be speaking or rapping about it. So I think Beyonce caught the backlash of people's before her. Like, yeah. I don't really think it got nothing to do with her. I think they're tired of their Africa, the symbol, what it's meant to be, being like a punchline. Because that's what it is. And every rapper, almost damn near every rapper has used the motherland or Africa or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Come on, man. I be pissed off.
I can't say, I'm not going to go as far as to say this it's a punchline, because you got to understand, we were robbed of everything that came. Like when we landed on when we got here on slave ships, they took everything. They took our religion, they took our names. We didn't have anything to grasp onto. So if you think about, like, let's think about the 60s and the 70s, right? The reason why you have so many names, where you have like a Keisha, Lakeisha, or Wanika, you hear these names that are different, is because Black people were trying to reclaim themselves and have their own identity, and that happened like in the 60s and the 70s after the Black Power movement, where we began to embrace the ideologies of Africa. Because it was stolen from us. And so we didn't really have an idea of where we came from. So we use when we say Africa in a song, or say Africa in a lyric, it's not that we're trying to use it as a symbol, but it's almost like a connection to, okay, this is where we were before we were stolen. This is where we were before we were kidnapped. And so, regardless if if this is how you feel, I won't blame an artist for embracing Africa or wearing or wearing a medallion if they feel like this is how they want to, this is what they want to connect to. Because we can't really connect to this country right here, because this is just, we were stolen and bought here. Like, we don't really have any roots here.
I gotta give Beyonce credit though. See, here's the difference. In Beyonce's Black is King, you can see the diversity of dancers, who she collabed with, culture, symbols, colors, everything. What you're talking about, name me 3 rappers who have collaborated, or 3 hip hop artists who've collaborated with African artists.
Well, it just depends. I mean, you have a lot. There's a lot of South African artists and Nigerian artists who are big over there, who collaborate. Like Wale who is Nigerian, he collaborates a lot. I would have to do my research to see who has collaborated. But there has in recent times, there have been more collaborations. Like in Africa, in my book Trap History, they have a whole trap music movement in South Africa, where it's this, these guys are like, they're influenced by 21 Savage and the Migos. And so there is this connection. Somebody said Fabulous has a song with Davido and Sway Lee. So there is this connection where it's happening, where Afrobeat and hip hop is a merger. So I'm not going to say that, just because a rapper doesn't have a African artist on his album, that he still shouldn't big up Africa. I think that we should. I think we should embrace it. I think Africans should embrace Black Americans. Like, we're not here because we wanted to be here. We were stolen and taken and bought here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
and I think to that point, Amir, I like that Beyonce on her album collaborated with all African artists. Like, I think that was a huge deal because she brought exposure to artists that we may not know. And then we could say, oh, these are more African artists we need to tell other people about, and we need to stream their music. So I think that's a big deal. I think what could happen is someone like a Beyonce could start that conversation and kind of repair the bonds between Africa and African Americans. And we could have those conversations so that it's not oh, you're exploiting African culture. And it may be like, we're just trying to learn more about African culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that needs to happen. You know, I don't really know what that looks like, but I think that's definitely something that needs to take place. And I think Beyonce could make that happen. You know, like, this is a huge step, but I think a next step would be that kind of conversation.
Agreed.
Yeah. This conversation isn't gonna it's like
no, it's not overnight. It's definitely
I feel like this is a whole book by itself.
Yeah,
like, you know, the miseducation of the Negro is, I feel like there's a miseducation, re-education that needs to happen even within our own cultures of African American and African, like Amir, like you said. I mean, that bridge has to take place. We're still trying to understand all the cultures. And Cass, to your point, I truly believe that Beyonce is one of the trailblazers that I think she's starting the process from this project she just put out. She's starting that process. So I just want to see what's next.
That's what it is. So we want to go into what happened in Aurora, man. Like, the harassment continues. We have video of a family that was pulled over because let's show the video. We can go into the
What's happening? There's kids. There's kids. They had guns on kids. They had guns drawn on kids.
So this happened in rural Colorado. A black mother and her several of her children were pulled over. Well, actually, they were detained and handcuffed because the officers thought that they stole a vehicle, but it was actually their vehicle. And it's just another incident of police brutality, I think, and it's still in this thing where you have police officers who don't know how to do their job. Like, why are you handcuffing kids because you think that someone stole a vehicle? It's just poor policing. It's a bad job. Like, all those officers should be fired.
Yeah, this is ridiculous all around. I mean, the kids don't need to be handcuffed. You know, like, you can take the time to investigate. You know, maybe if you want to arrest, put handcuffs on the mother, okay. But like, kids don't need to be in handcuffs. It's just ridiculous. And you see how tormenting this is. Like, you hear their screams, you hear their cries. Like, it's just really unnecessary.
Okay, I'm not Ty. I'm not a rocket scientist. Okay.
Look, I had my mouth tuned up too. I was like, go ahead, Romeo.
I got a 3.8, Cass. I'm smart. Now, what family have you ever seen in broad daylight steal a car? Who brings their kids to steal a car? If I'm a police officer,
so the license plate, it was a license plate mix-up. So, but go ahead.
Okay, even with that, in broad daylight, I have never in the history of ever seen a family, a family. Hey, little Tony, let's get in about to go. Come on, man, you got it. Come on, police. Come on now. Common sense is free. Common sense is free. I'm just saying.
So, was there any parents with the children, or?
Yeah, the mom was there. Yeah. I mean, like, she was driving the car. And she had her kids with her. And when they pulled them over, they just handcuffed them all, had them on the ground.
Yeah, so it was a mishap from a license plate mishap. I think they were actually looking for a motorcycle with the same plate from another, but it was the same license, but it was another state. Yeah, so they got it mixed up. So yeah, they didn't do their job, just like in the Breonna Taylor case. And speaking of the Breonna Taylor case, I'm going to get into this too. I want to go actually bring this up tomorrow, but they're actually saying that Breonna Taylor case has a lot to do with gentrification. I'm not sure if you guys have saw that, but I'm going to bring it up tomorrow. And basically what's happening is with Louisville, they have this this citywide thing where they're trying to revitalize certain neighborhoods. And on Brianna Street, they basically they own like several of the houses. And Breonna Taylor was one of the only houses that they didn't own. And so what was happening is a lot of the police officers, they were kicking in doors to seize property, saying that, because they're, they call it drug activity, that they could seize the property. And so I showed this whole map. I actually saw a documentary the other day on this whole thing as far as how this thing is playing out. But there's some reports that are saying that Breonna Taylor was killed because of gentrification, and that the city of Louisville and the police department are working together to revitalize the neighborhood, and they need a certain amount of land, and Breonna Taylor's home was having to be on that property, so in that area. So I'll bring it up tomorrow when we have more time, but definitely want to just throw that out there.
The plot thickens.
Plot thickens, yes. Thickens.
Yeah.
So let's go to positive thoughts.
Positive thoughts.
Please. That was deep.
Yeah, that was,
Straight to
All
positive
right.
thoughts.
Well, start us out with positive thoughts. Romeo International.
It's Wednesday, people. Do what you can do, because that's what you can do. Ty.
I'll catch that one and do what you can do. I'm gonna do what I can do, Romeo. I feel you on that one. It's hump day, baby. And one thing I want to share with all of our viewers is change starts with us. I don't care what we're talking about. Beyonce and her contributions, our African culture. Change starts with us. Let's educate ourselves. Let's mask up, regardless of what's being sanitized or what company we're trying to rely on to do it. Nah, let's do it for us. Change starts with us. So I'm gonna throw it on to Cass.
My positive thought of the day, I'm pulling from both of our guests today, 2 women, innovators. There's a way to turn your passion into a paycheck. And, despite whatever's going on, there's a way to create and be innovative. I'm going to pass it to Amir.
My positive thought of the day is, if you're Black, you're African. We know that. It's scientifically proven. It's in your DNA. You can't run from it. It's biologically, you can't run from it. Regardless if we're in different tribes or if we're in different states or we're in different countries, we are all Black, which means we're African. Let's come together. Let's stop this foolishness. And let's just, let's work as one, man, because us against the world, we can't be defeated. That's what it is. Let's go, Myson.
Come on, AR, for your fist. Hey,
let's do it.
That's right.
Well, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. But more than anything, just keep the movement alive. The whole idea of 4 children on the ground, guns drawn, it's obviously there are individuals that haven't got the memo. Systematic racism is not over, so our movement cannot be over. You're going to have to stand up. You're going to have to continue to write, to highlight, to create songs, to create poems for this moment. Live in this moment. Do not let COVID, do not let your social distancing keep you from posting with a purpose, loving this community with a purpose, sharing skill sets with this purpose, adopting individuals in the community who you know are in need. If you have something to share when you go to the store, think about those families. For all of you who are buying this luxury goods from companies that you don't even know, think about buying a computer for a loved one or a family that will not have a computer. It's time out for that whole materialism. We're going to make all these luxury people happy. I think we should check. If you think you're African, then why are you running around talking about Italian names and you ain't never heard of Balenciaga? He ain't coming to visit you. He don't care nothing about you, but we still want to be their pets. We're not your pet. We're not your Negro. We're not your pet. This is a moment, but it's a defining moment. And for all of you who are going to fraudulently continue to rap about designer clothing and try to make other people, it's peer pressure. It's totally bullying of our young people that don't understand that we don't need to love designers that don't love us, that haven't spent a dime sponsoring an HBCU, have never been there, and we all need to stop wearing them. We don't need to question and say a sister's great because she got a bag designed by somebody you'll never meet. Let's get over it, y'all. If you got one, you got enough. If you don't have one, just take a picture with somebody else's and say you got one. It's time for us to invest in ourselves, not just be in business, but be in the mental business of educating, reading a book by a Black intellectual who wants you to add to your brain power. So you can't be tricked one more time to think that you need a fashion label in order to be proud. That would also for every other thing in your life. If you got a tennis shoe collection and you ain't getting paid for it, sell it and put the money in some stock. At any rate, this is Rolling Out AM, the wake-up call. Ty Cooper, Cass in the City with the Cascading Light, Romeo International, and A.R. Shaw. Trap or Die, y'all. This is Munson Speed, and we are the wake-up call on Rolling Out AM. Check us out online. We're here for you. Peace.
Check us out.